All right, we are live, Karen. How are you doing?
Great today, Emily. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's so wonderful to be here with you. You always just bring me so much joy every time we're together.
Thanks for having me. I love coming on and chatting with you also. Thank you.
I know it makes it so fun to have somebody with me. So thank you. Um, I'm Emily Katie, and I am the host here on this YouTube channel. And I have my dear friend Karen Coronado with me, who is just this incredible healer and intuitive. She did a healing session on me earlier this week. OMG. I feel incredible. I am like higher than a kite right now in the most natural and sustainable way. I feel amazing. So thank you for the work you did for me earlier this week.
Oh, you're welcome.
So today we want to talk about how to stay peaceful or in balance during this chaotic time. There's so much upheaval in the world, and it's causing a lot of fear. Actually, I was just reminded yesterday, I was talking to my neighbor. I was out front and ran into her, and she was talking about the amount of stress she's under right now because of what's going on in the world. It's really impacting so many people. And some of the stuff she was sharing with me, I just knew things. It's not just her. I just knew deep down that whatever we can do to take care of ourselves during this time to not only help ourselves, but help be balanced for others. I did see that my neighbor was able to go from this frantic, stressful state to, after about 10 minutes of talking and allowing her to share what she needed to share, she was able to reset and get some more equilibrium back into her body. So that's my hope for anybody watching us today, that we can maybe give you guys some tools and just a reset here while we're here for the next 30 minutes. So Karen, do you have any thoughts as well in the direction that we're going today?
Yeah, well, I love that what you just talked about your neighbor, because I think sometimes we just need to have somebody to listen to us and without responding, just as a sounding board. I mean, I guess you could probably even do it by yourself. I don't know if it has the same impact, but just releasing some of that built up energy and emotions that's stuck in the body, right? So if you have a really good friend, and maybe you can even just tell them ahead of time, I really just got to get something off my chest. It's not, they don't even need to respond, but I think that that's a really great way to just blow off steam in this crazy, crazy time.
Absolutely. So, we are going to be offering free little mini intuitive readings towards the end. So, if you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat now. And we only have 30 minutes today. Both Karen and I have appointments right at the bottom of the hour. But if you have a question, we will try to get our best to get to all of them. So, please, again, pop them in the chat. But before we started, I just asked my guides, like, what is it that the collective or anyone watching this needs to hear today? I got this really strong sense of people being stuck. And what I ended up doing, I just quickly pulled one tarot card just to kind of give me some guidance and some insight of what we can share today. And I pulled the Four of Swords. Now, I love this card because, as you can see, there is somebody that's laying down. There are three swords right above this person. They're not touching this person, they're above them. My little Xochi in her tail, you can see her. She wants a little tarot card reading herself, I think. And then there's the fourth sword is horizontal. This card, this message here is yes, there are a lot of things going on. Maybe you're not thinking clearly because of the chaos in the world and the unsettling things that are happening. The structures that we all know and have found comfort and peace of mind in are coming, they're crumbling. They're literally crumbling. Yet they're not touching us. Maybe some of us are being touched by it, but we are being asked to rest right now, to find some strength in being able to unplug so that you can tap into your inner voice, your inner clarity, and your inner compass to guide you through this time that we are in the middle of. So instead of being caught up in the chaos, rest to recalibrate and reassess where you're at.
Yeah. Go within. right? So bring your energy back to yourself. I feel like this is something that I played with for a long time. And I tell my people, my clients, about it because it's so, I feel like, poignant and important. So when you're looking out there at a TV screen or scrolling on your phone, you we lose our personal power. Like we are kind of giving our consciousness away. I know that sounds really weird, but if we go back within and go back to our heart space, bring our awareness behind our eyes, bring our consciousness back. If you then start to look out at those things, it really has a whole different feel, right? And this is something you can play with if you're watching TV, like if there's happens to be a show on. The hardest part is to remember to try to play with it. But if you do that and then you kind of recenter yourself after you're watching whatever you're watching, recenter yourself, and then look at the screen, it's a whole different experience. It's really pretty profound. So I feel like going within, I love that tarot card because everything is out there. There's a lot out there, but the stillness within, the peace within, is what's going to help you ground and just stay the course so you can actually live a life that you like and enjoy without having the chaos kind of come back into that inner circle, we'll say.
When
So
you do I guess the word that's coming to mind for me is the recalibration of your mindset when you're watching TV. You're literally like taking that, you're unplugging and taking that 30,000-foot view of like what's actually going on instead of being sucked into it, right?
yeah, exactly.
So when you do that, I love this, and I'm going to start doing this, is when you have that reset, what is the like, can you share a shift that has happened to you that
Oh
you
yeah, it's
experienced?
pretty profound because think about when you're watching a TV show, we watch them because we want to, sometimes if we're watching a movie, we want to get out of our world. It's a world that we're going to be in. And if you notice, your consciousness is not really in your body at that point. And so just noticing that you're totally engulfed in the movie or the show that you're watching. When you take a step back and when you bring your awareness back, it's almost like the feeling and the sense that I got was like, I almost, when I redid this and I re-looked at the TV show, I almost was giggling because it was just a picture moving on the screen. Like the awareness was totally different.
Mm-hmm.
So I love doing that practice. Again, it's harder to remember to do it when you're kind of in the moment and
Right.
watching it because it's meant to kind of, meant
Yeah.
to absorb you.
Uh-huh. Mhm.
So, but you really are able to discern for yourself. You're basically, I feel like you're becoming more sovereign in that moment. Now,
Mm.
staying that way is another story, right? But it's a great practice to know the different feelings. Whatever's on the news, to step back, bring your awareness in, and then look at it with different eyes. Or honestly, you can even turn most of it off, right? We don't need to watch all of that stuff over and over and over because it's really programming us in some deeper way.
Yes, absolutely. I think that awareness is super important for each and every single one of us as
Yeah.
we are maybe consuming news or consuming also like or Netflixing, binge watching
Yeah.
Netflix just to check out.
Even just scrolling. I mean,
Yes,
sometimes I like to
scrolling.
play a couple of online games, and sometimes I find myself getting lost in those. So it's not necessarily just the news, or it's anything that you are kind of putting your attention to. It could be over shopping, it could be whatever, anything.
Yeah, and where our brains have all been programmed, right, to not focus very long. So we're at whatever we focus on is what we're bringing into our lives. So I know I make it a daily effort to put my phone down and put it in airplane mode for at least 2 hours and not have any electronic going on, just to unplug and really connect within. Now that's a discipline that I've chosen because I choose to focus on the 5D timeline, the New Earth timeline, and really unplug from what we're seeing in this 3D. I've been told for the last 6 years or 7 years by my guides this is going to happen, and we're not at the end of it. We still have to go through the crumbling of this old structure because it's no longer serving us. But the quicker that we can all wake up and we can all like get above the noise, the quicker we can get through this and help those that are struggling really get through it. So I love that. The one thing that I also do and I want to share is really in those moments that I do get caught up in the crazy and the chaos, the unsettling, and I start to feel like I'm not safe, is I will ask myself two questions. The first one is, do I have everything that I need in this very moment? For me, fortunately, it's yes. Even when I lost my home back in 2010, I still had a yes. And the second question I always ask is, am I safe? And right now, yes is my answer. And I choose that to always be my answer, to always be safe.
And I mean, I love how you ask to yourself, right? Because if you ask the world or look out there, I think those answers might be different, but you really went within and you asked, it sounds like.
Yes. And that it does what you were talking about, pulling away from being sucked
Right,
into the TV. This is being sucked into the chaos or my own
right.
uncertainty and going within and going, okay, yeah, I got my equilibrium back.
Yeah, I love that.
Mhm. To have this reset. So these certain little resets, and I can come up with a million, and I know you can too, Karen, and I bet a bunch of our viewers here too can.
Yeah,
And I don't
yeah,
want to overwhelm people. I want to keep it simple.
right. Yeah, simple is better. Yeah, simple is easy, keeps you grounded, keeps you safe, keeps you feeling like that it's possible to do this.
Yes. And we can. And again, the more of us that we withdraw from the chaos and withdraw from our own fears and recenter and recalibrate, the quicker we can get through this.
Mm.
And the faster we're going to be placed on the timelines that we want to be on, that we're we want to have the ease and the abundance and the
Yeah,
joy.
yeah, absolutely. I love that you talk about timelines. I think it seems like it's out there, but I think that we're doing it all the time by each individual decision and choice that we make.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely, we do.
yeah,
And that's why it's being hyper vigilant of our thoughts and where our focus is,
yeah.
so that we
I'm gonna
can.
start using your questions. I love those two questions.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm curious how they work for you too. So I know that they really help me bring me right back into my body, my mind, or out of my mind into my heart, let's just say.
Right. Yes. Right. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I love
we
that.
do have a few viewers here today. Chantel, Michelle, Gina, Josh. So happy to have you guys here on the chat. There are more, but I don't know you're not on the chat. But we are open to doing some mini readings for you guys. So if you're feeling a little caught up in the chaos and a little maybe the whirlwind is going too fast that you don't know what direction to even look or see, Karen and I are here to support you, guide you however we can. So, Karen, I would love for you to share a little bit about what you do and your offerings for the audience, just in case
Hmm.
somebody really connects with you and wants to start working with you.
Thank you. I love working with people that are ready to grow and they know they have things going on, maybe some, if they're dealing with some kind of emotions on a regular basis or even some physical pain. I work with the person's subconscious to release and help them let go of some of the old memories, traumas, trapped emotions, trapped things from lineage, from their things that have gone on in their life. So they can begin to live a life that they want to live. I think also what we were talking about before is to reprogram basically for a new timeline. And basically how we do that in a nutshell is focusing on and going towards the things that we really do want to experience, right? And what's preventing us from doing that. So yeah, so that's what I really do in a nutshell. Yeah.
Yes, and you're such a powerful healer. Um, I know for me, like one, working with you has been incredible. I really enjoy your gifts, and I feel them. I do. I will say, for me, the amount of energy that you're able to move within me. Sometimes I have to take a nap afterwards, which is I have no problem with that. um,
Yeah.
so, um, and the timelines, it's fascinating. Like when you, at least for me, when I've become hypersensitive of where my focus is, how I am not focused. It's like it's so
In
easy.
the realization that you're not focused when you,
Yes,
oh,
yes. Yeah, like when you're like wanting to pop up to a timeline that works for you, that you want to be on, if you're not on a constant mindset of creating that reality, it
yeah,
takes a long time to get there.
yeah. Well, and I think easily we can just talk about like the analogy of going on a trip. If you're going to go on a trip, you generally, unless you're just going to go do whatever, you have a destination.
Hmm.
So if you're not focusing on getting to that destination, you, who knows when you'll get there, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly. You got
So,
that GPS, you put in where you're going, you
right.
know, every turn and stop and whatever you need to make.
Yeah. So I
Yeah,
think it's basically your focus, where your focus goes, that's where your attention goes, and that's where you tend to go. I was just telling one of my clients the other day, and she was laughing about this because I asked if she knew how race car drivers, if how they were trained. They're trained never to look, even if they're getting in an accident, they're trained never to look at the wall. Because
oh
if
yes,
the
yes.
wall, guess where they go?
Yep. Hmm.
So
Yep.
that's very much big training for race car drivers.
Yeah, it's interesting. I used to be a distance runner. I used to run marathons, and I remember being out training, and my coach always saying, just pay attention to those drivers because those drivers are watching you. They're not watching the road. And they will, it was inevitable. I would either be running or riding a bike, and I would see cars like veering into me, and I would always have to like get over
Yeah.
because they focus. So you're right. Same goes with creating the timeline you want. Where is your focus?
Yeah.
Is it at the runner, the wall, the cyclist that's on the side of the road,
Right.
distracting you from the direction you want to go? So
Right. Yeah.
I
And
love it.
also along with that is to clear out anything that's preventing you from get there. So if you have maybe some severe anxiety about a certain thing, like that's something that can be looked at and with somebody and different practices that can be released.
Absolutely. Yes.
So you don't have that
And
resistance of things.
yes. So over the years, I used to be such an anxious person, and I was in a constant battle of anxiety, so from being a young child. And this type of work, working with Karen, doing the type of work I do light code clearings and activations. It's like slowly peeling back the layers and getting to a place like for me to be here on camera, live on YouTube is something you would never have seen me do 10 years ago. My heart would have been pounding so hard. I would have been fumbling my words. I still fumble my words, but I don't care. I have brain damage. I have had some serious issues in my life with learning, but now I don't care because I've done the work. I've cleared the energy, and I still do because it's still there.
Yeah.
But I'm able to step up and do things. And I know that this is possible for any of us. We just have to be willing to keep the focus of where we want to go and do the work of shedding those things, the facades, the programming, the judgments that we've been carrying, the I call it bleed through of when I go into past lives or ancestors, their wounds and their traumas that have bled through into this present life. Right now, Michelle, she's here and she had a beautiful session with me yesterday. And I'm so grateful to see you here today, Michelle. And yeah, there was some bleed through that we were able to clear for her. And the more that she's able to do this work, she will start to see the ease of what she's seeking. And it's just really a powerful gift. Oh, yes,
Absolutely.
she's mentioned here. So yesterday, I forgot about that. Michelle is so cool. She's focusing on learning crystal grids right now. That came up in the session yesterday. What your personal experiences are creating in the crystal grid. So what are your personal experiences with creating crystal grids? I don't do crystal grids. Michelle, that came up for you. That was your past life showing you as a medicine woman working with crystal grids. I don't do it. So that I'm excited for you to see how that blossoms because she had a really powerful, I hope you don't mind, but a really beautiful activation from her past life medicine woman that came up yesterday. So
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say about your work, Emily, is like you're helping people that are to clear things that maybe not even from this time in this life and time. It's so powerful. So yeah,
Thank
thanks
you.
for the work that you do. It's incredible.
It's
Yeah.
definitely multidimensional and it's not for the faint at heart
Yeah.
at
I
all.
love the crystal grid things. I'd like to know more about that myself.
Oh,
I don't do
such a
anything with crystal grids.
beautiful reading that she had, and I totally forgot about it until she brought it up. So we do have a question here. Josh says, I would be honored, happy to get any insight on how I can unlock some things and grow to better utilize my energy, inner guidance to make a bigger difference in this existence. Okay, let's see what I get for you. Karen, if you get something right away, go for it.
What comes up for me right away is to hone in on what it is that he really wants to create. Or is there a little energy or is a little, I feel like there with him, there might be just a little spark that he might not be paying attention to that is
Mm-hmm.
obvious,
Mm-hmm.
and to start to grow that, start
Mm-hmm.
to focus on that. So we'll see, maybe he can write in the chat.
Yeah, do you have, yeah, if you can write in the chat, Josh, if you have a spark or something. I am getting, um, I definitely do see some blockages from your lineage and some past life stuff that is definitely coming through and maybe blocking that spark for
Mhm.
you. I did do earlier today an activation, a light code activation on my YouTube channel. And it brought in the spark of your soul, and it was an activation of your soul being activated. So the spark dropped in and then they got activated. So you may want to check that out, Josh, because that may be one that I did for you, not realizing it was specifically for you.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah. So, Gina, previous life is interesting. You're curious. Yeah. Did you have a specific question? And Josh and Michelle, did you have any specific questions or feedback from what we just shared with you? Anybody else have any questions? Doesn't look like it. Looks like we may be complete here. I'm
Well,
gonna
that's interesting tell me about the activation that you did this morning. That's pretty interesting that
yeah.
kind of
So
came up as a full circle.
I know, right? I love it. I love how spirit works. So I just lost my feed. Where do y'all go? Okay, sorry, I'm clicking on things. I will drop that link here. So I just went into the new moon energy this morning and I did I'm just dropping the link in the chat. For some reason, you guys, I don't know why my recorded chat does not stay up for some reason. I don't know why. But after it's the recording is done or the live is done, so I can drop this in the description as well. But yeah, this morning I just went into the new moon energy, and okay, so sometimes I'm on a spirit, I don't remember everything, but I just remember I was doing an activation, a light code activation, um, and in it all of a sudden, and it was along the same messages of this today, of just the pregnant pause, being okay to be in this pregnant pause and finding rest in the recalibration that we need right now. And then all of a sudden it was like spirit showed me all these soul sparks, like people's souls were being sparked and lit up, and there's this activation. So as these souls, I could see them, they're like stars in the sky, and they dropped into this different souls that were listening to this activation. And then later on in the activation, it was like little white sparks turned to rainbows.
Wow.
And so it was like, okay, now your soul blueprint has been activated.
I love that.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, that's really fun.
Oh, Michelle, you're listening to it. Oh, you listened to that. Oh, yes. It's not that long, which is good. It's only like 10 minutes long. So hopefully, we have here, Josh says, I am the creator. I am a creator by nature. And in tune with my creativity, but deal with financial issues and self-sabotage, which I'm working on undoing whatever traumas. Okay. So, continue and manifest and repeat. So I definitely have financial or have had and still working through financial trauma. And this mine led back into like the 1400s or something like that, 1200s. It was a long time ago. So it's something that I have always been somebody that's an overworker, overachiever, work myself to death and have had many lifetimes doing that. So maybe that's why I saw, Josh, for you, the block, because there could be past lives for you that have been similar to mine that have prevented you from ever really coming into the abundance that your soul came here to do. So this is your lifetime to heal that 100%.
Yeah. Another easy tool that people can do for looking at financial things is to look back at what did your parents, how did they deal with financial? What was going on in the house, in whatever house, whether you with parents or not, what was going in the household around the financial stability or not? Yeah. Look at patterns of the mother, the father, or if you were with other, adopted, or it could be anybody, right? Whatever the caretakers were, what was the financial, what did they feel, or what were they believing about it? And you be able to go back and think about, how the mother, we'll say mother and father, how the mother acted, how the father acted. In my household, particularly, my mother, they didn't have a lot of money, so she was constantly trying to save, but my father was out buying like computers, and he was buying cameras, and she would just, so I had this inner conflict about how to be thrifty, but yet to buy these things that didn't seem thrifty, kind of thing. So
Right.
it was just a lot of different dynamics going on with that, and there was fights that ensued in the house with that too.
That's
So
really fascinating. So how have you been able to work through that? Because that's a like totally like I saw like two trains going the opposite way with like
yeah,
trying to move.
yeah, no, absolutely. And I think what you talked about earlier, it's really a journey. I mean, this is a journey. So if and it's also an upward spiral as we clear our whatever we are working on, and we have certain patterns of things that we have going on in this life, and they can come back around as we go up and we clear, and then we go to the next layer or level, and then they come back in a different way. So we just clear on a deeper level. When I
Hmm.
started realizing that this was a journey rather than a sprint,
Hmm.
I feel like everything changed for me because I had this a little bit more inner peace. Like I don't have to get somewhere. I just keep doing it because it's what I do anyway, right? It's what we're doing anyway. A lot of us that are here. Yeah.
Radically accept where you're at and the journey. I love that. Embracing the journey.
Yeah.
It takes all
Takes
the
a lot of
angst.
stress
Yeah,
off.
it takes the angst out of it when you can accept it. I love that. I think that's beautiful. And I think we'll wrap up on this note. I know we both have different appointments we need to go. Karen, bless your heart. She did leave a class just to be here with us today. So thank you. I really appreciate you. So I want to get her back to her class so she can continue down her journey of becoming a masterful healer in this lifetime because we need you. And yes, if you feel led to book a session with Karen, she's amazing. I will drop her link in the description after this live. I didn't get a chance to do it before. And I'll drop mine as well as the light code activation I did today. So we hope you guys have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, everyone. And it's been an honor and pleasure, Emily. Thank